The fire inside, a gut's cry for help. No one would have guessed that Evelyn Mace, the sharp-witted editor of the Daily View, was fighting a war every night against her own body. It began with a whisper, a mild sting in the chest, a tingle in her throat. She brushed it off as stress, a side effect of her punishing deadlines and red wine dinners. But over time, the whisper became a roar, sleepless nights, a searing pain rising behind her sternum, the bitter tang of regurgitated food making surprise visits at 3 a.m. She was living in a private hell, disguised by her flawless red lipstick. Her doctor called it acid reflux, more technically, GERD. He scribbled on his pad, handed her a prescription for proton pump inhibitors, and told her to avoid spicy food. But Evelyn wasn't the type to bow to symptoms. She wanted answers, real ones. What was triggering this rebellion in her body? It was a rainy Tuesday afternoon when Evelyn stumbled upon something different, not another pill or quick fix, but a quiet, unassuming video titled 5 Vitamins to Stop Acid Reflux Naturally. The man on the screen looked ordinary, but his words carried the weight of revelation. Acid reflux, he said, isn't always due to too much stomach acid. In many cases, it's not enough of it. Evelyn froze. It defied everything she had been told. Behind her pain, he explained, lay a small but mighty muscle. The LES valve, a sentry meant to clamp shut between the esophagus and the stomach. When this valve slackens, stomach contents, acid, enzymes, and half-digested regrets slosh back up the pipe. And here came the twist. This valve depends on strong stomach acid to function properly. If the acid is too weak, meaning the pH is too high, the valve relaxes, allowing chaos to erupt. Her medications, she realized with horror, were likely making things worse by neutralizing what little acid she had left. That was the first betrayal. The man went on calmly, methodically, like a detective unmasking a criminal. Vitamin 1. Betaine HCl with pepsin. 2 to 4 capsules before a meal, he said, thoughtful. It reintroduces acid, primes your digestion, and reminds your LES who's boss. Evelyn ordered it that night. She took 1 capsule with her salmon dinner. For the first time in weeks, she didn't feel the fire climbing her chest. It was like watching a rogue city finally fall under command. She upped the dose the next night. No pain, no 3 a.m. panic, no sour taste dancing at the back of her throat. Happy, she smiled, but this was only the beginning. Vitamin 2. Ginger. A common root, simple, ancient, yet armed with phenolic compounds that soothed inflammation like a lullaby for her esophagus. She started chewing on thin slices before bed. The raw heat of the ginger was intense, but strangely satisfying. It grounded her. It was like a sword slicing through the fog of inflammation. And when the burning came back during an unexpected late-night snack, ginger answered like an old friend, a silent warrior. Vitamin 3. Probiotics. Now the video turned cerebral. Your gut is your second brain, the man said, and your bacteria are its soldiers. Evelyn leaned in. He spoke of the gut-brain axis and how bacteria produced acetylcholine, the messenger that signals the LES valve to behave. Her lifestyle, artificial sweeteners, antibiotics, late-night martinis, had likely assassinated these tiny defenders. She walked to the fridge and stared at the Greek yogurt. It wouldn't be enough. She ordered fermented vegetables, kimchi, sauerkraut. She drank kefir like it was champagne. She wasn't just changing her habits. She was recruiting an army. Vitamin 4. Apple cider vinegar. This one made her skeptical. It sounded too TikTok. But the logic was clean. Acetic acid helps restore stomach pH, supports digestion, and even energizes the colon cells. She stirred a tablespoon into a tall glass of cold water. Sipped slowly, through a straw, as advised. The taste was sharp, like truth. And for Evelyn, it worked. Especially before heavy meals. Especially before business dinners where pasta was inevitable. Vitamin 5, Zinc L-Carnosine. Now came the closer, the healer, the quiet renovator. The man on the video spoke of epithelial tissue, of inflammation and microscopic damage that eroded the gut lining over time. Zinc L-Carnosine, developed decades ago in Japan, was engineered to rebuild what acid had wrecked. She added 75 milligrams to her regimen. Her throat felt clearer. Her mornings began without the usual phlegm symphony. Her voice, once hoarse from nights of reflux, began to regain its edge. Her editorials sharpened. She was getting herself back. But even the best army needs clean ground to fight on. So the man revealed the 6 saboteurs that often go unnoticed. 1. Criodist, the silent destroyer. It shuts off digestion, keeps the LES door wide open. The best month of the days is beyond meeting the body's first defense. And estate colloids to environments, damaging the stomach lining to ensure its own survival. These were Evelyn's old staples. Now, her suspects. Antibiotics and painkillers, assassins of the gut's protective lining, slaughterers of good bacteria. She realized she hadn't just been treating the symptoms. She had been feeding the cause, so she changed. She stopped antacids, tossed them into the trash like a cheating lover. She ate cabbage, raw, fermented, shredded, each bite a gentle salve for her battle-scarred gut. She cut out bread, biscuits, and the innocent-looking cereal box that had gaslit her for years. She switched to pasture-raised eggs, olive oil, and roasted vegetables, the kind of food her grandmother once called real food. She sprinkled Himalayan salt like sacred dust, added potassium-rich foods, avocados, leafy greens, squash, to her plate with purpose. She drank sparkling mineral water each morning, not for pleasure, for pH. She walked 45 minutes a day under trees instead of fluorescent lights. She breathed slower, talked less, thoughtful, listened more. And with every step, her nervous system softened. Her body stopped yelling. It began whispering again, kindly this time. Weeks passed. The pain became memory. The burning receded like a bad chapter. The voice in her gut, long silenced, began speaking again. But this time, Evelyn was listening. She wasn't just healed, she was transformed. And somewhere on a forgotten bookshelf, tucked between medical journals and diet fads, was a single truth. Sometimes the cure isn't in fighting fire with more water. Sometimes it's about rebuilding the flame from the inside.